is happening, Unlocked Church? We are so glad you're here with us. If you are early, we are watching a one-wheel race video over on Scott Mendenhall's YouTube channel. You can come and join us there, or if you're watching another time, just fast forward till you see our faces again. We have an awesome morning planned for you. We'll all be in the studio hanging out. We got worship. We got just so much. So stick around, and we're glad you're here. We'll see you in a little bit.
What's happening? Good morning to everybody all in the world. My name is Scott Mendenhall, and these are my great friends.
Hello.
We are some great friends, huh?
We are
Yeah, yes,
Yeah,
you
you
are.
were
we are.
talking a lot of smack in that video.
I'm
like,
always
less
talking
than
a little bit of smack.
But we are great.
A little bit.
A little
like
bit.
you like to complain that like I got some kind of advantage as we get tight on you, Joey, looking at the
you
camera.
know, we
What do
just
you
like
got
playing
to
with
say?
your mind a little bit, you know? It's just, you know, you always have a treaded tire. We don't have treaded tires. Yes, it's our fault that we don't have a treaded tire, but it's still unfair. And, you know,
No,
you
could
just,
go,
you
you
just,
could go
you
get
just, I
you
don't
could
know.
go get one.
Did I not just say that?
You're right,
Yes,
you
I
Oh
could.
did.
my goodness.
my God.
I'm coming at you, Scotty.
You are, because I don't feel it yet. I feel the words, but I don't feel any like
You don't
you're
feel
coming at me
intimidated.
I'm
with the
smiling,
one
I'm
wheel.
smiling,
Yes.
so it
Now,
doesn't
Kristen,
come
on the other hand, as long as there's snow, I feel like I'm in good shape.
Maybe
but
until she gets that treaded tire put on her.
yeah, somebody in the chat asked,
Yeah, I think-
why isn't Kristen got the treaded tire? She won because we're remodeling or we're trying to finish our office and all those things. So that's why she hasn't gotten it. She does get it, but it just has to wait.
Eventually.
And
It'll
she's
happen.
doing great. She's not complaining about, Scott, where's my treaded tire? Thank you, Kristen.
Well, yeah.
What? Get out of
I feel
here.
like you're just gonna prolong the remodel for as long as possible. It'll be through winter, so then I can get my tread tire after.
We're always coming
There
at
might
you.
be some truth to that, because if we get the treaded tire on you in the summer, it actually might slow you down. You just don't know.
Ooh.
Yeah, maybe.
But I wouldn't be
don't
like
know.
that. That'd be shady. That would be shady.
Shady.
Nonetheless, I am so glad that you guys are with us. We got the chat room right here. Right now, there's 54 of you in the chat.
Hello,
Want to
everyone.
say good morning to Summer Beal. I see your name in there. Holly, Chris Daniels. Chris Daniels in the other video. He was calling a trifecta for Kristen
I know.
today.
Wow.
I
Didn't
appreciate
happen,
that.
though.
It
Those
didn't
are some
happen.
words.
Yeah, it didn't happen. But I'm gonna. Don't worry. Next week I'll get it.
I want to do another fox race because it's time to get her.
It
We
is.
got-
but I feel
we
like,
need to
Oh
get
man,
her.
a fox
It's not
race.
even time.
Okay, I want to say
need
we got
to.
Rachel Monk in there. Hi, Rachel. Thank you for hanging with us. Sarah Briggs, good to see you this morning in the chat. We have Collins Brewer in there. Erica Ward, thank you for jumping into the chat. She's laughing at somebody in there. I don't know what she's laughing at. She just said laugh out loud.
Probably at all of us.
I don't know.
Probably. Or somebody made a comment.
something to laugh
I
at.
want to thank Noah for being in the chat as well. I love your comments. It's going to be a great morning today. The topic today is going to be so much fun. We actually are going to put a face mask, like a
Like a spot. Like
yeah,
a-
because when you say face mask today,
Like a
it
spa mask.
enters
Like a
so many,
spa mask.
but like a spa mask
Yeah.
on Joey
like
and
a
Lily.
kick back and relax kind of mask.
Just
Yeah, so
chilling.
we're gonna let them wear them in a little bit, which will be super hilarious.
Joey was just telling us that he feels like his pores have just been fighting him
You said
and
that,
they're
Joey?
opening up, and he's
You
like,
guys-
I just don't know what to do.
Lily-
I think it's the reason why
Lily-
I'm losing these one-wheel races. Can we do something about it?
Yes, Joey, would you like to say
Yes,
something?
I would. Lily just told you all a white lie. I did not say that.
Joey,
That's not true.
Joey, do you even know, Joey? Do you know that your face is full of pores?
Yeah, but I didn't say that.
I just was making sure.
But
I
yes,
just see.
I know. I got a lot of like blackheads and stuff. Does that help with blackheads?
Whoa! Too much. Okay, let's move
Hey,
right along.
I'm not. I'm being open and honest.
Thank you for the transparency
We
there.
love it.
Okay,
So vulnerable.
wherever you're watching, we would love to see pictures snapped. If you're driving today, snap a picture. Be safe while you do that, and text it to this number we're going to put on the screen so that you can get your picture put up. We're going to throw it to a video while you do that, but we want to see where you're watching. We always look forward to Dan, who is posting with his family and his pup with bacon. There's the number. Lily's trying to.
Parentheses!
Is that what you're doing there?
Screenshot.
Parentheses.
No, I'm just kidding.
What is going? Oh my goodness, that's the number. Lily knows it by heart. Joey knows it by heart. I don't because it's right there. Why would I
Text
need to
us, say
memorize
hello.
it if they know it?
Send us a picture.
Where you're watching. Okay, while you do that, we have a great video that sets up just the topic of today. The theme of the day is really we're going to share how you can become the real you.
Yeah.
In 2021, despite all the crazy things and events that you can't control. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. This video will set that up. Thank you for joining with us. Get these pictures sent in. We'll see you in a little bit. Check this video out right here. Okay, I don't know about you. Watched that. I'm like, that's so true, man. When you're on Instagram, social media, you get to be whoever you want.
The one that astounded me, the fact was the view
500
time
years.
of YouTube videos.
Yeah.
A day.
Which
500 years.
500 years that's
crazy.
currently on there, but here's the deal.
crazy.
Every day that gets outdated by more, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's the crazy bit about those numbers. And here's the deal is that we were talking about social media earlier today, and I don't know about on your phone if you get your weekly average, but we're all going to share our weekly average daily.
I don't
No,
know
we're not.
mine. Oh.
We're not going to do that.
I was like, I don't have mine ready.
We're not going to do that because
way too high. Like
some
ashamedly
some
high.
are high, but we were doing this earlier. We were looking at them, and mine is 137% higher than the week before in my daily average. I'm just like 100.
Good for you, Scott.
No, it's higher.
Oh.
It's not down.
And it's not even.
I thought you were saying it showed like you're on 30 minutes a day or something.
No, that is my
really good.
that was my average. The week before I must have been 0.
Okay.
And this week I was
So,
up to 30
sure.
minutes a
Okay.
day, which was 137%.
Yeah, you were
more.
correcting my grammar on my Instagram story, so I know you were on.
I don't get a
Correcting
chance.
my
I don't get a
grammar.
chance to do that all the time, but when I do,
It was
hashtag I know what I'm doing.
He was like 2021 goals, correct other people's grammar.
I know it was only correct Lily's because she corrects mine all the time.
I'm just
like
ashamed still.
she's helping me. Okay, so let's get to some pictures. Hopefully we got them some loaded up, watching where you are. Actually, Joey, what was your screen time this week? Do you know?
Yeah.
I thought we were going to share.
We were gonna just
It was 1 hour and 46
A day.
minutes a day.
a day, and mine
day.
was 37. 30.
Well, yeah.
I mean, 30
Do we?
minutes I think
Does
it's
everybody want to share what theirs?
Lily, do you?
I actually didn't pull
You
mine
didn't do
up.
that.
On purpose, probably.
Yeah, on the break, we'll have Lily pull it up, and then we'll have Lily and Kristen share theirs.
The
It'll be a
question is,
moment.
put in the chat who do you think will be
Yeah,
higher.
actually, take a guess.
I am like addicted to TikTok.
Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna give away a haircut.
A haircut?
We're gonna give away a free haircut. We'll pay for it. We've got a stylist.
Well,
that
only
will send-
if you live in Minnesota.
Yeah, if you live in Minnesota,
Or you
Lee,
can
sorry.
come and get your hair
You can
done.
come here. But here's what's gonna happen. You get their minutes on daily average, okay? Of their average time on
And
there.
we've got-
Whoever's the closest, the first one closest, will win a free haircut.
Free haircut by stylist that comes to here.
Okay, so let's throw some pictures up. Let's see who's watching, where they're watching. Excited to see this as you are guessing their daily average.
Hello.
Zach and
Adams.
Woo,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay.
Looking
Less
good.
beanie.
Looking good.
Looks so warm and cozy.
You
They
look
do.
warm and cozy.
For a second there, I thought they were like inside a tent or something, but then I realized it
Yeah.
was not a tent.
They're just hanging at home.
They do look snug.
They look, yeah,
What
cozy.
else do we got?
Okay, thank you, Zach and crew. Here we go. Oh, Joey, who is
Look
that?
at my wife and daughter. Isn't that sound weird?
so
It's so cute.
You said that's weird because you like.
It
You
just
said,
sounds
Are
weird.
you not used to it yet?
No, it's my daughter. It's like it's just weird stuff.
yeah, but she's like just a month old, right?
She's a
Yeah.
little peanut.
Just a little
So
little
cute.
girl.
So cute.
Well,
She's a bit. I mean, like
She's
she's a
little.
10-pound baby, so she wasn't like
Wasn't
tiny,
that little.
but she's
yeah,
still
but
little.
she's little.
She's so cute.
All right, well, let's see. That's been a tough one to
I think
beat
we've got
there.
2 more.
Let's see. We've got 2 more pictures.
Oh,
Holly and the crew.
Hi guys.
They're looking
Peace.
happy.
Any more?
I'm sure that's a wee bit chaos there, but it looks like calm.
Oh,
Hey!
Packers!
That is such
Hey,
a great
congratulations,
picture.
Packers
Such
Packer
a-
fans, we salute you and give you a clap.
Congratulations.
As Viking fans, well done. You did something that we cannot do.
We had to put on the purple and
Ain't that
kind of
blue?
goldish backdrop. Backdrop.
For just that we bleed purple and gold.
It's
Yeah.
just always everywhere.
It
It's
is.
just
However,
moving.
Packers, well done. Let's see if you can do it. Okay, let's check in to the chat here, see what people are guessing. We have Kaylee is saying 3.4 hours
Oh gosh.
is a daily average.
Okay.
Emmeline is saying 2 hours and 49 minutes for Lily and 2 hours and 35 minutes for Kiki. We have Lily at 4.5 hours from Sarah Wheeler.
Yikes, that's high.
We have, everybody's giving you girls 2.5 hours a day, seems to be the average.
Yeah.
Amanda Vernon comes in with a nice deal and says 1 hour and 37 minutes for Lily
Wow.
and 1 hour and
You guys are
42
generous.
minutes
Wow.
for Kristen.
So
Wow.
specific.
So much.
Noah says
Something
2 hours and
new.
23
I was
minutes.
I'm interested in see who wins this.
Abijah, good morning, Abijah. Abijah says, Lily, 1 hour, 50 minutes. Kristen, 2 hours, 3 minutes.
Abijah, he knows us so well. Not that he's right, but like, you know.
Yeah.
We
I
have
don't know. I honestly don't
Dave, JNQ.
Okay.
Lily at 25 hours a day. There's not even that many hours in a
More
day.
than there are in a day. That's the kind of.
Thank you.
I don't know. That's just.
You're just an overachiever.
Yeah. Shoot.
Okay, we will, right after, in a little bit, we'll share their times. Well, we'll tell you who's the closest. We probably won't reveal the actual amount of time, but we might. You don't know. It might slip out.
Are you ashamed of the truth?
I don't know what yours is yet. Do you?
Probably just as high as Kristen's.
Let's just say no one has posted a time of ours even close.
Accurate.
Okay.
Oh no, she.
Well, it was kind
about
of,
to
one
get
of them was
defensive.
kind of close.
She's getting defensive.
What? No.
It was for Lily, but it was kind of
Yeah, okay. You're kind of close, but not so much. Okay, we're going to switch gears as we've kind of made Kristen nervous a little bit over there. Okay, we're excited about today. Check out this video as we get to some live music. Kristen and the crew is going to come up here and sing a song. And here's our host over this next moment. Is yes, we're laughing and having, a great time. And we want that for you today, but we also want you to connect with God and take a moment to reflect. Where is God in your life? What role does he play? Are you okay with your relationship with God? And maybe you're on the hunt and that's why you're here. Maybe you just want to hear the topic and we're going to get to that. But our host is in this next moment is you take a pause and you think about where is God in my life? And as we talked about hours spent on a device, maybe you can ask yourself how many hours you spent with God this week. This is a fun way to twist that. And if those are out of whack, maybe this week we figure out how to shift it or begin to shift it. And so we got a great video here. It is Psalms 23. We're going to ask Lily to rap it really quick.
I prepared for this one. No, I'm just kidding.
She did rap it earlier before.
We did during run through. It was, just catch me on VH1 next year.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know why that was the first
VH1.
thing I thought of. Is that even a thing anymore? I don't know.
I don't know.
Really, we have a video for you to watch.
We do, and it's Psalms 23. She's avoiding the rap. It is a great song. I do believe it's one of the more popular songs that is rapped.
Psalm 23? Yeah.
I've heard it in rap. So here we go. Check this out, and then Kristen and the crew will be up here to sing with you guys. Enjoy.
love that video. It's just about Psalm 23, and it just talks about the attributes of God and like all of the great things about Him. What was
I just
a song called Tremble, and I love this song just because it also is talking about the attributes of God and who He is to us and what He does for us. And one of the lines is, He makes the darkness tremble, and I think that's one of my favorite lines at the moment, just with everything that's going on in the world and just in life. Life can be crazy and could seem really dark at times, but He's the light in the darkness, and just one little bit of light breaks through the darkness. So that's why I really
love it.
love
When you
this
said
song.
we're doing this song, I'm like, yep, this is the right
Let's
time.
do it, yeah. So wherever you're at right now, let's just worship together. Turn the volume up just so you can sing and no one can hear you if that's where you want to be at. But just, it's a time to just worship God and just give Him worth and for all of that He's done for us. And it's just one way of worshiping is singing and doing worship this way. So let's get the song started. Peace, bring it all to peace. The storm surrounding me, let it break. At your name still, call the sea to still, the rage in me to still, every wave. At your name, Jesus, Jesus, you make the darkness tremble. Jesus, Jesus, you silence fear. Jesus, Jesus, you make the darkness tremble. Jesus, Jesus. Breathe, call these bones to live, call these lungs to sing once again. I will praise and breathe, call these bones to live, call these lungs to sing once again. I will praise Jesus, Jesus, you make the darkness tremble. Jesus, Jesus, you silence fear. Jesus, Jesus, you make the darkness tremble. Jesus, Jesus. 'Cause your name is a light that the shadows can't deny. Your name cannot be overcome. And your name is alive, forever lifted high. Your name cannot be overcome. Let's sing it again. Your name is a light that the shadows can't deny. Your name cannot be overcome. And your name is alive, forever lifted high. Your name cannot be overcome. Jesus, Jesus, you make the darkness tremble. Jesus, Jesus, you silence fear. Jesus, Jesus, you make the darkness tremble. Jesus, Jesus. Jesus, Jesus, you make the darkness tremble. Jesus, Jesus, you silence fear. Jesus, Jesus, you make the darkness tremble. Jesus, Jesus. Dear Jesus, thank you for just being who you are and being with us. And thank you that you are so great and so powerful, and just make the darkness tremble, and that it just bows to your knees. Jesus, thank you for being our Savior and our King, and I just pray that during this time of worship, we were able to just have a moment with you and just see where you are in our lives and making the darkness tremble. Jesus, as we go into this next week, let's just have our eyes open to the small light that we see in the darkness. In the name of Jesus, amen. Thank you for worshiping with us. I love that song. I hope you guys enjoyed it and were able to just maybe see a glimpse of the light in the darkness in your situation, in the world, and whatever's going on. Let's look at this next video and just see what God makes out of our messes.
I've heard it. You've heard. It's time for a new beginning. Time to start a fresh page or paint a new picture with our life. Sounds great in theory, but it can seem impossible. Life is messy. The lines have gotten blurred. Maybe we just don't know where to start. We look at the canvas of our lives and see mistake after mistake after mistake. It's overwhelming. When I look at my life with these messy lines and scribbles, it makes me think, is this as good as it gets? There's no eraser that can make this life make sense. But what if? What if there was someone that could make sense of our mess? They could take all our scribbles, all our mistakes, all our missed opportunities, and make them into a masterpiece. And then I remember, there is Jesus. He gives us a new life. Every day is new. Every day is a blank canvas full of possibility and promise. He takes our canvases, our lives that have been filled up with shortcomings, secrets, tragedies, and embarrassments, and He helps them make sense. When I look at the canvas of my life and I see nothing but disorder and chaos, I have to remember this. God is not a God of disorder. He's a God of peace. And you know what? He wants to take my hand and bring peace to the canvas of my life. So as we seek to make our mark, let us give God all our scribbles, all our mistakes, all our hurts, and trust that He will turn our messy lives into a masterpiece, His masterpiece.
I think that's one of the coolest things I've seen in a long time, where you're taking all the scribbles and making it into a great picture. It is a little bit of what we're talking about today, is recognizing our messes, owning our messes, which then will help us when the unexpected stuff happens in the world. We know who we are and what God has in store for us. If you're brand new around here, thank you so much for hanging with us today. We are so glad to be with you. If you're a regular, thanks for coming back today. Thanks for sending in pictures. Thanks for being inside the chat. So cool to see all the names popping in there. We are a church in Maple Grove, Minnesota that meets online right now. And we are in a couple weeks, months, as we are hunting for buildings. We will be meeting live again in person. So prepare yourself. Get excited. Pick out your outfit, what you're going to wear. Lily and Joey, have you picked out your outfit yet, what you're going to wear?
Absolutely not.
I'm gonna wear this.
I have not.
I'm going to wear this.
It'll be the morning of.
The morning of.
But I will be amped. I promise you
Yeah,
that.
Yeah,
I'll be
I'll be
very
excited.
excited.
We're stoked about it. So we're on the hunt for it. So those that are local, and maybe you're local and you've never even come, because I know there's heaps of you that come to Unlock Church now that have never stepped foot into a building where we met. I commend you. Thank you for loving with us and doing life with us. But wait till we get so good. So that's happening soon. And why is Joey and Lily over on the other side? Because as Kristen comes into the shot, we're going to put face masks on them. Kristen is installing the face masks on the... Do you not call it installing?
Applying.
Applying. I've never done this.
Applying.
Me neither.
Okay.
I did one
I'm
yesterday.
not changing
It's
a
all good.
tire here.
It sounds
We've
like
got
you are.
some options,
How
Scott, if
off-
you want to choose for us. Joey and I are each going to do a different mask, but Joey has these
Kangaroo.
hilarious faces.
Yeah.
Scott, would you like to see
koala
Joey?
bear?
I would
and a
like to
kangaroo.
see Lily wear one of the animals, actually.
Okay. Koala bear or kangaroo,
That,
Scott?
here's why, is because Lily was setting up Joey to wear it, so she must not have wanted to wear it.
Oh, no, it's totally fine.
I don't know. I don't know the
This is
difference.
gonna be
We're all
really
silly
cold
looking
on your
around
face.
here.
This
That's gonna be
isn't?
cold. And then we've
be
got
cold.
Joey. Would you like pomegranate, citrus, or
What I think we
strawberry?
should
Well,
do, really, hold on.
I want-
We should let the people vote.
Okay, people?
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
We'll let you in the chat vote which mask. These are, I don't even know what do you call them?
They're face masks.
Face
Yeah,
masks.
but
Spa.
spa face mask. If we keep saying
Brightening.
face mask, people are going to think about the masks that we're wearing. I don't, this
says
is not
mask.
that.
Yeah.
I know.
Facial mask.
Facial masks. Okay, we're just trying to make sure every time I say mask today, I'm not talking about the mask we wear when we go to Starbucks. I'm talking about the masks like these koala bear things.
Yeah.
Okay, so write in the chat who gets the animal and who gets the other one. We'll let you pick, and then we'll check in. Lily will be thumbing through because we're only going to help her average go up. So we'll keep her on social
That's
media.
right. I
so
looked at it during that last break there, and
Oh, I can't wait.
You want to know? If
I
she
wanna
shares,
know.
Kristen, you have to share.
Well, yeah.
Kristen,
Do you want to share?
it's
What?
gonna be okay.
It's gonna be okay.
No, like,
Ah!
like it's gonna be okay.
Okay.
Are we sharing?
Oh man, we're just
Let's
hanging.
just say, how about this?
Yeah.
Look at you
Let's
guys are
just
so
say
scared. Just
Kristen doubled my time.
be your real self.
Okay, if you guys want to know, my time was 6 hours and 42 minutes a day.
So mine was 3.
However, I
three
somehow
hours, 3
spent
minutes.
3 hours on Amazon on my phone, which I don't know how I did that because I haven't bought anything on Amazon. There's just, I don't know how I get that much time.
It's crazy.
guys. I don't
And
know.
Lily was at 3 hours
3
and
hours.
30 minutes.
Yeah.
All right, I am getting.
'Kay.
I am. Okay. We have votes for everyone, but I'm seeing most that I get the animal. So
Okay,
so
Lily's
let's do
doing
it
the
then.
animal.
Okay.
So let's start applying. You're gonna see that in the back as we continue because we're talking about removing the masks that we wear, that we do life with masks on, that we aren't the real version of us, that we're always hiding things. And you just saw it there with Kristen and Lily as they were like, "Oh, do I get vulnerable with you at home? Do I share my real, true viewing numbers on my social media or my screen time? Do I share that information?" Because we live in a culture that when people get vulnerable, you get one of two people. You get somebody that steps in and goes, okay, cool. They either commend, applaud, do life with you. They aren't giving you crap about it. Then you have the other person that just becomes a Karen. It jumps in and goes, what's wrong with you? How do you spend so much time on social media? Why would you do that? And so you have these tensions that create where we put masks on, as you can hear the giggles over there of Kristen applying the animal mask. Let's check in really quick, Lily here. Oh my gosh. Why are you tilting your head back?
I don't know actually, because I feel like it's gonna slide down.
Just open your eyes real quick. So, Kristen, move out.
No,
Whoa!
close your mouth. Close your mouth.
Oh my gosh.
my teeth.
Yeah. It's in her
Oh
mouth
my
now.
God,
You have the
it's
mask
getting
in your
over.
mouth. Okay.
Guys.
Okay. Lily, you got to be a little bit quiet over there because we are trying to have a conversation at the same time. And we do want to have some fun today. We want to talk about a topic that I believe will help you, but we also want to make it fun and illustrate that you typically aren't being the real version of you when you're out and about. Think about it. Somebody asks you, how you doing? What's the go-to phrase? Write it in the chat. Good. Doing fine. I'm alive. I'm on this side of the dirt. You know, we just have these cliche answers, and I get it. We're not going to say that to strangers. We're not going to get real vulnerable with somebody. Well, I'm really bummed today. I found out that I've been on my screen for 6 hours and 30 minutes a day, and I'm just like, I'm over. We're not going to do that, right? That's weird. We're not going to behave like that. So this today isn't about us running out and just telling everybody all our business. That's not. But who are you telling what you're really dealing with and what you're really struggling with? Because we live in a culture where we begin to bottle it up and hide it on the inside instead of sharing with people. And where we come from, what we believe is sharing our life with God in a relationship. This reminds me of a great story from my mom and I the other day, but we're going to share that in a second. Let's check in with Joey. He's getting a mask applied. I'm not.
He's like, is this glue?
Yeah, what are you doing?
This isn't even a mask.
Yeah, wait, it's just
Joey
goo?
chose, oh gosh, this is
Oh, it's all over me.
Joey chose the antioxidant mask for his
Stop!
blackheads.
I'm freaking out.
You can't be like that. You have to be.
You can't be in front of
to
it. The people
relax.
at home can't see.
I'm trying to apply.
Joey, have you ever had one of these applied to your face?
I don't think so.
You and Michaela
How
never
does it
given
feel
your
at the
face
moment?
It feels gooey.
Like, would you
It's
like
cold.
would you like to do life like this?
No.
How about you?
Maybe we'll see what it feels like.
No,
after.
with the mask on, bro, not after.
Absolutely no.
Lily, how about you and your
No, I feel like I can't even talk.
Let's keep the mask on. I'm just
That is so mean.
That was below the belt. I'm sorry.
Below the
Okay.
belt.
All right. How long does it have to stay on?
20 minutes.
20 minutes. They're gonna be over there. We're gonna let it get really dried on there. And what's the purpose of these again? Clean out your pores?
I don't know. This one is for
Can I open my eyes?
citrus peel, and it's for brightness and hydrate. So it's really to hydrate and brighten your skin and make it like an even tone.
What's Lily's about?
You know, the winter.
Lily's just for fun. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know.
Okay. We're going to continue with that, applying the mask. I remember this was a couple winters ago. My mom came to visit, and I took her to ice fish. And we were ice fishing. A big old storm came, and it was hilarious. My mom never ice fished. We drove on the lake. She's loving life, and I had Vader with me, and she caught fish. I did not. I always feel like I'm a great guide when I can take somebody out and they can catch fish and I can't. It's just I feel good about myself. Not really. I feel like that competitive guy. I can't believe I didn't catch a fish. So my mom's catching all these perch and I'm not catching anything. We go home to deal with all the equipment. My mom's playing in the snow and Vader and her are playing. And it looks like they're having a blast. Like Vader's hopping around and my mom's down on her knees. And then she's on her back on the ground. And I'm thinking she's making a snow angel. As I switch to this camera epic, she's making some kind of snow angel, you know, laying down there doing her. And I'm like, wow. And then I kind of see out of the corner of my eye, my mom just walks in. I'm like, oh, that's odd. She just walked in, no one gonna help. And I'm like, interesting. And so I follow inside to go, hey, what's going on, Mom? You all right? And she let me know that Vader was attacking her. Like he was playing too violent and she just had enough. She's just like, that's it, I'm out. Which was like one of the first times I've ever seen my mom like take off the mask towards animals. My mom loves every animal known to man. Like she is, like I have a deer skin that is in my house and she's like, where'd you get that from? Did you kill that? Like if I said I did, she might disown me. So it's like, no, someone gave that to me. She is always double checking what meat is in the chili because she knows we like some deer meat or venison or we like bear meat and elk meat. And she's always going, what are you trying to slip into my food here, Scott? Is this? So clearly she's okay with chickens and cows. They're not that high on the list for her. Well, all other animals are the cutest things ever and you can't eat. And so I roll into the house and my mom's like, that dog is evil. That dog is not the coolest dog ever. He was attacking me. And then you, Scott, did nothing to stop him. You just laughed. And I was like, whoa, Mom, I thought you guys were just having a good time. I thought you were laughing. I didn't know that he was like playing too rough. She's like, I couldn't get up and you just were over there watching me. I was like, Mom, I was watching the snow, the beauty of my dog and my mom just enjoying Minnesota. It was a great moment for me. But my mom on the other side, she thought she was going to die. She's like, no, Vader wouldn't get off of me. If I didn't have my snowsuit on, he would have bit through my arm. And it was the moment where my mom took off the mask for a second that all animals are cute. And I realized that, okay. My mom thinks all animals are cute as long as they're not attacking her. As soon as they attack her, she's like, hey, put their skin on the wall. That's okay. and it was the mask comes off. And think about it, a lot of times in our lives, we keep the masks on in our lives where we're faking it, where we're trying to pretend a certain way until the fuse just explodes, like mask comes off and the real you comes out and you just start screaming at somebody. Maybe moms or dads this week, you lost your temper with your kids this week and your mask came off and the real you was exposed and you just went off and you're like, oh no, I didn't pretend good enough, or I couldn't hide that anymore. Or maybe at work this week, you wrote an email to somebody and you told them off and you're like, oh no, I pulled the mask off. The real me was exposed. They know who I am. And then you have to apologize. And then you quickly put the mask back on to get back to, okay, as long as I keep the mask on, people will like me. And so I got to keep these masks on. Maybe you've been on Instagram or social media. Let's just put social media in a big bubble and just you've spent some time on there and someone shares a different opinion than you and you blew up on them. And you're like, oh no, I pulled the mask off. I was trying to behave like a follower of Jesus. I put the mask on and I'll pretend. But when I just had enough, I'll pull it off and I'll tell somebody off, or I'll tell somebody a joke that I shouldn't tell, or I'll spend some time on a website I shouldn't, pull the mask off. And I'm like, oh crap, I screwed up, put the mask back on. The problem with wearing masks it doesn't actually change you're pretending. It's fake. It's not real. We look at Lily over here with the animal on her face, and the animal that's not the real Lily. Like underneath that, you if we can get to Lily really quick, you can't see her big smile. You can kind of, but you just look. The smile goes way past the opening of the.
Joey, how you doing?
Slimy.
You do look slimy, bro. You look gooey. It looks
Little
uncomfortable.
shiny.
Is it getting dry? Does it dry?
Yeah, it dries. It dries. Just wait.
Maybe it doesn't when
not
it's
yet.
30
Yeah.
degrees
Look
outside.
at it.
No,
It's
it'll get there.
It's like it's covered in ice or something.
Yeah. Lily, is yours get dry?
No, mine stays the way it is. Right now, it's just hydrating me.
Oh, yeah, good. Okay, through makeup.
Through
Does it
makeup.
work well through makeup?
Ooh.
Gosh, I don't know. I've never done it with makeup on. As I was putting it on this morning, I was like,
That's
what?
probably a
What a
bad
waste.
mixture.
Yeah, I think it's not a great mixture.
It's not, but okay, Lily's mask is the best illustration I got for us who pretend to be something that we're not. That could be through being a mom, a dad, a coworker. And I want us today to walk out of here today to stop pretending. And it's not, I'm not talking about masks that are the political topic at the moment. I'm talking about us, we talked about a couple of weeks ago, stop faking the funk, which is you're calling yourself a follower of Jesus. You're calling yourself who I'm going to love first and not hate or not judge, yet that's only a mask and your heart hasn't been changed. And today is about removing the masks and letting our heart be changed today. And it's not going to be me changing your heart or those two funny people over there are going to change. It's allowing God to change our heart on these topics, on these different things. And I'm going to use a story that's so, like, you've grown up in church, you've seen this on a flannel board. Somebody did make a suggestion, and I think it's a great one, to make this one big flannel board. We might do that in the next coming weeks. How awesome is that? The vintage flannel boards where it was multimedia of the 70s where you moved a character around. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you should totally Google it. It's hilarious. It was before TVs. Okay. But you know the story from the flannel boards, and we're going to talk about the prodigal son. You might have heard it, the lost son. But I want to jump into the whole story where Jesus is talking to religious leaders and people that don't have a relationship with Jesus. That's what I love about Jesus, is that when he speaks, he's not just speaking to people that are followers of his. He's speaking to all sides. The hopes is to grab their hearts, their attention, that he might be able to change their life, not control their lives, but change their lives. And so if you have a Bible, you can download it. It's free, just Bible on the App Store. Or you can just go, since you're watching online, you can open up another browser and just go to Bible.com perhaps, maybe, I think is the thing. And you can look up Luke chapter 15, verse 1 through 32. Don't worry, I'm not going to read it all. We're just going to talk about it a little bit. But here we go. It starts out like this. This is the setup to these stories. Tax collectors and other notorious sinners often came to listen to Jesus teach. I love that right there. I love how Luke, who is a doctor, who Luke, when you read through the book of Luke, he covers a lot of Jesus' miracles because that's where he was wired. He's a doctor. And so when he sees Jesus doing these miracles, he's like, hold on. That wasn't science. That wasn't medication. That was straight up unexplainable God stuff. And that's what's so cool about Luke is he really dives deep into those things. And so if you like sci-fi movies, Luke is a great book to read because it just covers a lot of those miracles that Jesus did. Luke also is an eyewitness account to what Jesus did. He saw firsthand. It wasn't, I heard once a time ago, somebody said, it was, I was there, I saw it, and then he interviews other people. And what I love about the way Luke writes is when he writes, he gives us who were the governing officials of the time in the location. So he's really coming to us as readers. It's in there for us to fact check him. So we can look back, okay, this was Caesar. This is the location. What else was happening in history at the time? Luke's not trying to mask and hide and make it complicated. He's trying to say, here are the facts of the day. You as a reader, thousands of years from now, you can fact check me that this actually took place. And so you should totally read Luke if this interests you. Just start reading Luke. It'll be great. But we're in chapter 15, and Jesus is drawing people that, what I love about Jesus, he draws people that, and he's so compelling to people that don't know Jesus. Like people that were anti-Jesus are drawn to him to hear him speak. And this is what just makes an eyebrow of mine go up a little bit. This made the Pharisees and teachers of the religious law complain that he was associated with such sinful people, even eating with them. Like, the pastors of that day were going, oh man, Jesus hanging out with these people that aren't followers, they aren't law-abiding people. They're dirty, unclean people. You're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to separate. And Jesus is like, no, I came for those people. If you want to be more like Jesus, you need to stop separating yourself from people that don't know Jesus and start putting yourself around people that don't know Jesus so that you, when you pop off your mask and truly are being vulnerable in the real version of you, and you talk about how God's grace is sufficient and his grace is new every day, and I'm not perfect, I'm a messy person. I'm speaking of myself, Scott Mendenhall here. I'm not perfect. I rely on God's grace and mercy that are new every day. I wake up and go, God, I'm going to tap into that again because I know today I'm going to say something I wish I wouldn't have said. I'm going to have to apologize. I'm going to have to go to my kids sometimes and go, hey, I don't know what I'm doing. This is the first time I've raised a teenager. So, hey, I'm going to screw up. Just have some patience with me and ask forgiveness to Legend who just turned 13. And here I am pulling off my mask, being a little bit vulnerable, going, hey, I'm tapping into grace. And you can tap into grace and pop off your mask and go, okay, I'm going to tap into that. I'm going to be vulnerable and let people know I ain't perfect. I'm a mess. And God loves to help messy people. When we say we're messy, it allows God to go, okay, now you've identified your problem. But what we become kings and queens of in this world is that we become so good at justifying why we did what we did or doing what we're doing or why we don't have Jesus in our life or why we just justify. As we all shared our screen times this week, we all immediately, every one of us, well, this is why. And we begin to justify what it was, or, oh, I don't count this as screen time because I'm doing this. And we just try to rationalize, justify, where that's us wearing a mask. It's us putting a mask on and not going, okay, hold on, I'm going to be teachable. And this is, I did the same thing. I'm like, oh, it's because of this or that. We all do it. It's human nature. This isn't shame on, isn't calling anybody out. It's just true of all of us. When we know we're doing something, we're getting alarming information about ourselves, we're like, oh, wait, ooh, okay, well, here's why. Or you put on some weight, and then you begin to go, well, it was a stressful time of the year, and I didn't get to the gym as much. And we justify, and the truth is, that is truth, but the deal is we just stopped being disciplined. We stopped getting to the gym. We stopped eating right. We justified why it was okay not to go to the gym and why it was okay to not eat right. We just said, that's okay. Like me right now, I'm guilty of this. As me pulling off my mask, we moved into a house just right before Christmas, and it was a bit of a money pit. You've heard me. It's the theme of the last couple. It's a bit of like, oh my gosh, I had no idea all these things were going to happen. This isn't as livable as I thought I was going to live. We can't actually do what we want to do as a family or a church in this. We got some work to do and just jumped into it. And it has been around the clock working to get it done so we can get the offices done and we can do. It's been crazy. And what I have done is I've justified saying, okay, I'm not going to run now. I'm not going to ride my bike. I'm not going to do the rower right now because that hour I could be spending building and getting this done and painting and doing all these things. I've justified saying, it's okay, I'll get back to it. It's only going to be 1 week, and then it was 2, now it's 3. I'm like, I was saying to myself yesterday, I was like, as I was finishing, just browsing through my notes, I was like, oh my gosh, I've done it. I have justified why I stopped running because I felt like what I was doing is more important, where it's like, hold on, if you just keep running, you stay fit, you can do this better, harder, longer. And it's like, oh man, that justification monster got me. And it creeps in there so fast. So what is it in your life you're justifying? What are you saying? No, I put a mask on because if people knew the real me, I wouldn't have any friends. Justification to fake it. And let's just call it what it is as well. We are all hypocrites, okay? So, man, how many times have I heard somebody call me a hypocrite? I'm like, I am. I'm a messy person. I am trying to be like Jesus. That's my goal. And I can't get there, right? I can't be perfect. And so I mess up all the time. So I am a hypocrite because my intentions are this and I fall short. And that's where Jesus comes in and says, I got you. Boop. It's like the ultimate game changer. It's like, okay, I'm here. A relationship with Jesus goes, bloop, you're right here. You're right. You're back in good standing with God. Bloop. Why would you not want to tap into that? And it's that trust and obey piece with Jesus that I'm going to, okay, I don't understand, but I'm going to trust and obey when Jesus says to do things. Jesus talks about being vulnerable. He talks about being the real you. So when you're scared, who are you saying that to? When you're worried about something, who are you saying that to? When you're concerned about your friends, who are you saying that to? Are you saying that to another group of friends that have nothing to do with the issue with your friends? You know what that is? That's called gossip. If the person has nothing to do with the given topic at hand or to the situation, or they're not involved in it and they're not part of the solution, that's gossip. And stop gossiping. Well, I just want them to know, I want them to pray. Okay, that's great if that's truly the intention. But a lot of times we hide that in just to spread gossip, just to tell the latest things. Okay, so the setup is you now know where Jesus is talking. You know who's around. You have people that don't know Jesus, and you have the religious leaders sitting around going, okay, Jesus, we're going to fact check you while you talk. And Jesus begins to tell these stories to illustrate what the kingdom of heaven is like. They're parables. They're made-up stories that illustrate what the kingdom of heaven is like. And you and I are in every parable. Okay? It's just that we gotta read it and find where we are. And so Jesus told them this story in Luke chapter 15, verse 3 probably. So Jesus told them this story. If a man has 100 sheep and one of them gets lost, what would he do? Wouldn't he leave the 99 others in the wilderness to go search for the one that is lost until he finds it? And when he finds it, won't he throw a big old party? And he doesn't even need to wait for an answer because he knows, yes, that's what the great shepherd would do is like, hey, the 99 are good. And if you're going, wait, why would the shepherd leave the 99 unprotected? If you know anything about nature, the strength of sheep is the fold. A group of sheep are called the fold, I think, the herd. They come together, right? Their strength is in their numbers. And so a great shepherd knows they're safe at the 99. The one that is gone, the one that is not a part of this is gone, is in great danger. I'm going to leave them. I'm going to go after them. It's not a lack of love for the 99. It's understanding the 99 are good and safe and taken care of, but the one that is not, I'm going after. And Jesus is the shepherd. If you don't know Jesus is today using YouTube to get your attention, saying, hey, I want to be in a relationship with you. I want to be in your life. I want you to spend time with me. And what does that mean, spend time with me? Sometimes it's just putting on worship music. Sometimes it's reading the Bible. Sometimes it's sitting in silence so God can speak to you. It's spending time. It's trying to be more like Jesus. It's like, but how do I know what Jesus is to be like? How do I know what he's like? So how can I be like him? Well, hang around here more. You should totally subscribe to the channel. If you're local, when we start meeting, come hang out with us. Jump into small groups. We're kicking those off in the next couple of weeks. Come to the chili cook-off we're doing in a couple of weeks. You enjoy life around other people where other people can help teach you who Jesus is and what Jesus is like. And so Jesus tells the first story, lost sheep. He leaves them, goes, gets them, and then he throws like this celebration, like, I got the one. Okay, then Jesus goes on and he tells another story about a woman. He goes, suppose a woman has 10 silver coins and loses one. Won't she light a lamp and sweep the entire house and search carefully until she finds it? And when she finds it, she will call her friends and neighbors and say, rejoice with me because I found my lost coin. Now, a little bit interesting things about this story here, because when Jesus tells the story, he's tapping on their hearts a little bit. We have a woman, and in those days, a woman got, I think it was called a dowry. Maybe that's the wrong term. I'm sure I'll be corrected in the chat. But when women were married, they were given 10 coins. It was they weren't paid. It was just a gift. And so oftentimes the women would cherish the 10 coins, not because it was a lot of money. It resembled, yes, money, but also remembered a time in their life when they got married, the ceremony. Maybe you understand if you've been married, like women love their photo album. Like to me, it's like, Holly is like, don't set something on there. That's our wedding album. I'm like, I was there. I don't need to look at it again. I know I was there. It's all here. She's like, no, that's it's very sentimental. And so, and I know there's guys out there that like pictures, so I'm not saying this is a difference between men and women. Don't go there. Don't go, Scott. No, I get it. It's just, I'm not wired that way. But here's this woman that has sentimental values to her 10 coins. Jesus isn't just saying 10 for fun. He's trying to illustrate these coins weren't just important because of the value. It had sentimental reasons. She loses one, and then she scours and won't stop till she finds it and calls her friends. Hey, you won't believe it. I lost this, and now I found it. See, Jesus is trying to tell a story how important you are to him. And then he goes into another story, and this is the prodigal son story. And the story goes like this. And it follows right along after these. It's also known as the lost son. You got these two sons and a dad. The dad owns a lot of stuff. One of the sons comes to him and goes, hey, Dad, I would like my inheritance right now. Because it would be great if you just give it to me now. Really what he's saying is, Dad, I would like you dead so I can have your money. And so the dad gives him his inheritance, and the son goes off into the city and lives crazy. Luke wrote it like this, so this is the way Jesus said it. He went off and he wasted all his money in wild living. And I was thinking about this the other day, wild living. When I read that, I'm thinking the crazy stuff, right? Like going to nightclubs, trying all exotic drugs. I mean, whatever you picture as wild living, we're probably in the same idea, right? We're picturing wild living as this extravagant craziness. And so we find ourselves separate from the story. We're like, that's not my story. Some of yours, it might be your story, but a lot of us don't. But here's the deal. We all have wild living. We just define it differently. If we can come back to this camera. We define wild living as something different than what here is, right? We wouldn't even say it's wild living. Some of us is like, well, I really don't, I'm wild living. But no, it might be the websites you go to. It stopped justifying and looking at, well, I'm not as bad as that individual, so it's not really wild living. No, we all live wild in different areas. We just justify that it's not. And maybe Jesus is tapping you on the shoulder in your heart going, hey, that area in your life, that's wild living, and I want you to stop doing that. And God knows the big picture. You stopping this now might impact your life in the future in a greater way, in a better way. But we've got to obey those nudges, and we've got to move in those directions. And so the prodigal son takes his money, goes, spends it on wild living. So what's your wild living? I wrote it in here. Stop thinking about the worst other people could do and think about what's your wild living. Do you overeat? Do you eat too much sugar? Do you drink too much soda? Do you read the wrong books? Are you on the wrong websites? Are you spending too much time in some area that you need to spend more time? What is your wild living? And don't go, I'm not as bad as everybody else. Is it you're binging Netflix show after Netflix show? Are you going back to that same website that you said you wouldn't go to and you're going back to? Are you spending money because it's the one thing you can control and you spend more money than you have, but it feels good to get the box and you get a box check? What's in this box? I don't even remember ordering something, but you felt good to order it? Come on, you know that's true for so many of us. You're like, I don't even remember what I ordered. And it's like you just love the box. I know my house, my kids, they just love boxes. They think they're the greatest thing ever. They don't even care if it's them. They're just, what's in the box? They hope that there's something in the box. But they love boxes. We get them shown up all the time. So he runs out of money, and then what he does when he runs out of money, Jesus begins to tell the story. He's like, okay, I'm hungry, so I'm going to go get a job with a local farmer, and I'll feed these pigs, which in the story, the viewers, if they're Jewish, are going, working with pigs because the law said pigs were bad, gross, and to eat them would be very wrong in those days. And so they wrote other laws that were man-made that said, okay, even if you touch a pig would make you unclean and you'd have to go get cleaned at the local synagogue. And so they said, touching a pig is wrong. And so here we go, this guy's so desperate. He goes and gets a job with the farmer feeding the pigs. And then he gets to a point where he's like, okay, I'm so hungry, I'm gonna eat what I'm feeding the pigs. Like now Jesus is really painting a picture of how bad this guy had it. And here's the one thing when I read the story, here's this guy, he pops off the mask finally. He finally pops off the mask and there was this change. He took off his mask, came to his senses, and he said to himself, at home, even the hired servants have food enough to spare, and here I am dying of hunger. I will go home to my father and say, Father, I have sinned against you. I have wronged you. I've created a gap between you and me. I created the issue. He owns the thing. Please take me as a hired hand. So he returned home to his father, and while he was still a long way off, the father saw him coming, filled with love and compassion, ran to his son, embraced him, kissed him. He just took him right back. The vulnerability of him to pop off the mask, to realize, oh my gosh, who have I become? And comes back to his dad and says, okay, I screwed up. I made a mistake. And all of a sudden we see a big party thrown. We see clothes put back on him. He's put back in good graces with his father because he was vulnerable and popped off the mask. Maybe you've struggled for so long with what your thoughts are about you on the inside and you've not told anybody. And today is the day you can experience freedom if you pull off the mask and get vulnerable with somebody, not everybody, the right people, and say, this is what I'm struggling with. Case in point, in the last couple of weeks, we got a great young lady in the church. Kaylee is her name. She has a dream of being a hairstylist. She is a hairstylist, but she wanted to be on her own. And so she started venturing out on her own to become a hairstylist, and then the crazy of 2020 hit, and it's just not what she saw coming. It's like, whoa, wait, what happened here? I thought it was going to just explode, and I was going to have hair, cutting hair every day. It was going to be phenomenal. And she's just sharing the story on how it's not been phenomenal. That she's struggling. She's got to look for another job. She's getting a job at Applebee's. And she's like, I'm only doing that because that puts money in my wallet so I can buy food and pay rent. It's like very noble. She's not sitting around just going, Jesus, show up, take the wheel, you know. She's like, I got to get after this. But my dream over here of being a hairstylist. And so she was taking off the mask and becoming vulnerable. When she started taking off the mask and being vulnerable around a few of us, we were like, okay, we can help. And so I was like, okay, will you do this? My mom's in town. She hasn't had a haircut for like a year or so. My mom was telling me she's been cutting her own hair, and she was doing a fabulous job. It looked really good. If Mom, if you're watching, it did. It looked really good. I had no idea you're cutting your own hair. Well done. But she's like, I haven't had a haircut in a long time. So I was like, all right, hey, Kaylee, if you come out and if you come, or can I have her come to you and cut hair? I'll pay for it so I can see a need here for my mom, and I can see a need with you, and I can help you, and I can help my mom. And it's like, if Kaylee hadn't been vulnerable and my mom hadn't been vulnerable, I wouldn't have been able to see the need and meet the need. See, a lot of times we miss out getting needs met because we're like behind our masks, hoping that some kind of magic happens that people would just know, oh, that person needs food. Oh, that person needs time spent with a human. Oh, that person needs this. It's being vulnerable, popping off the mask, expressing what we're feeling, going through the fears we have with the right people, and those people should be moved to meet the need. And so I have an opportunity I'm just going to present in front of you to meet a need. If you're still watching, you're going to have an awesome opportunity to help Kaylee get after her dream. Most of us, I was going to say we all have hair, but most of us have hair. I was about to say a few people's names, and that would just been wrong. And so I'm glad that there was a filter going on there. And so you know who you are, right? Some of you are scratching it right now. Okay. Those that do have, man, no, I'm sure she'll do a beard. Grow a beard, guys, and she'll trim it. But here's what I want. We're gonna put Kaylee's link up on the screen. I would love it if we could book her out this week with hair appointments. Even if you don't need a haircut, get your haircut. Just go. Here it is. This is how you find her. Her website is down at the bottom. You see that, Kaylee? Nelson or salon.com. It's so hard to read when you just look at that. There is her website. You can get a slot filled. Let's go and flood her. I mean, think about it. You're going to see a need and meet a need right away. She can be blown away, but then keep going back to her. Tell your friends about her. Help her. It's just a way. I mean, at the end of the day, yes, you're getting a haircut, but you're also making sure she has resources to be able to pay rent, gas, and all those things. And so it's more than just a haircut, and it's a way a church can go, I can do that. I can go do that. And what we want to do at the end of this, we're going to give away a full package where you can go get your hair colored, the whole deal. Like, we're going to cover all of it, but we'll give you how to do that at the end. So stay tuned for those that are local here in Minnesota, how you can win a full paid, I don't even know what you call it, but something with her. She had a term, but I can't remember it. But this is, her being vulnerable allowed us to step in and do this. When you take off the mask and become vulnerable, you will experience what Jesus wants to do in your life, oftentimes through other people. But we hide it all. And it's time for us to start sharing how we feel. Because when we start to do that, Jesus can step in and meet the need. It's the story I heard a long time ago, and we're going to check in with these guys over here. The story, and you've all probably heard it, where a man was on a roof, a flood was coming, and he was praying to Jesus, Jesus, come save me, just rescue me off this roof. And a person with a boat comes by, and, hey, you want to come? I'll take you to safety. He's like, no, God's going to rescue me. I'm waiting for God to save me. Okay, boat goes by. A few hours later, a helicopter comes by. Hey, I can take you to safe dry land. No, I'm good. I'm waiting for God to rescue me. And a few other things happen to attempt to rescue him. And the flood waters rise, and he dies, and he goes to heaven. And he's like, God, what's the deal, man? I waited for you to rescue me. And God's like, I tried like 5 times. I sent a helicopter. I sent a boat. I sent all kinds of things to get you, and you didn't take advantage of those things. Oftentimes, God shows up in a way that doesn't necessarily match the way we're picturing in our mind. We have to have the eyes to see where God showed up and showed off in our life. And our opportunity comes when we are vulnerable with the right people. This isn't, don't go on social media today, because this would be weird. You jump on social media and go, having a bad day, and you just kind of leave it all on there, right? It's like, no, that's not the right place, because then people are like, what do I do with this? Okay, it's okay to express where you're going through, and the right way to do it. We have a great example of how to do this, as our very own Michaela was vulnerable on social media. She wasn't just ranting to rant. We're going to have Lily. You can pull off your mask, Lil. How's it feel? Does it feel better to have the mask off?
It was like falling off.
I feel like I have, what do you call it, Botox?
Botox.
It's
yeah,
getting
so
tight.
Scott, I did this mask that Joey has on. I did it while I was editing yesterday, and my whole face dried, and it was like peeling off. I peeled it all off while I was editing. And it's drying in some places, but I wonder if it's because it's cold or...
Probably.
Yeah.
You can see, though, like your wrinkles are coming through.
Yeah, it's like, I can see my eye, like the difference.
Oh my gosh, my face is so soft.
But here's the deal, as Lily says, that just the difference that you get when you take off the mask. You don't know what's on the store of us removing our mask and becoming vulnerable. When you go to the prodigal son story where the young man got vulnerable, what happened? His life changed for the better. He didn't think it was. He was I'm going to go do the same thing for my dad, but he got vulnerable, took the mask off, and God's like, okay, now I can do something. Now I'm going to meet your need. It's hard to meet needs when we're not vulnerable. And so Lily's going to read, sitting next to Joey. Joey is the husband to Michaela, to put it all together. She's going to read Michaela's post, what she posted yesterday. And I asked Michaela, can we share it today? Because it's just... it illustrates the point so well. And if we can put up the picture of Michaela and Blake at the same time, that'd be great. All right.
So Michaela says, from delivery up until now has been the most amazing, challenging, beautiful journey that I've ever experienced. Motherhood is something I am so thankful to be a part of and have learned so much already. God has challenged me in a lot of areas. From having to go on blood pressure medication to getting mastitis, changing antibiotics, and gut issues from the antibiotics, I was not expecting my postpartum journey to look like that at all. But in all of it, I've learned to lean on Jesus more because I can't do this on my own. Being a mother has taught me what it means to be selfless in every moment. Blake, you are the most amazing, beautiful little girl, and I look forward to every moment we continue to share as you grow up. If you're a mom out there, I give you the utmost respect and support to you. We are in this together. Hashtag motherhood.
That's so good, Michaela. Written so well. And what I love about that is that she didn't go and vent about all the struggles she's had before, right? She came on with a complete story from beginning to middle to the end because she was vulnerable with people with face to face or through text. I know she's talked to Holly, she's talked to other moms out there going, okay, here's where I'm at. She's being vulnerable with other people, and then she goes to social media to express what God's done in her life. That's the right way to post what we're walking, to be vulnerable. That's being vulnerable on social media, but it has the beginning, the middle, and the end where you get to see it all. If she would have just came in there and gone, woo, motherhood, hard stuff, wow, I don't know what I'm doing here, and just start freaking out, it'd be like, whoa, what is going on? Like, we would all read it in a context that she might not have wrote it. And so be careful when you go on social media and you start just ranting on something. It always gets read more negative than you posted, unless it's got the beginning, the middle, and the end where people can put it all together and see the context. So Michaela, great job. And may we all take one from Michaela as we remove the mask and become vulnerable. Don't become a hot mess on social media. Go to the right people and express what you are going through, and you'll see God jump in and meet your needs, and your life will be better for it. We see it with the prodigal son or the lost son. He became vulnerable, removed the mask, and God met him right where he was. You need God to show up in your life? Become vulnerable. Remove the mask. As Lily said, she pulled off the mask. Her skin's so much softer. When Joey removes that mask, he's going to enjoy it so much better because it's getting tight. Wearing a mask is uncomfortable, isn't the way we're designed to do it. If you don't have peace in your life, it could be because you're wearing a mask, you're faking the funk, you're not being the real you. And I wrote this to wrap it all up because I just was interesting as I read those 3 different accounts of lost sheep, lost coin, and lost son. Okay, the first 2, the lost coin and the lost sheep, I wrote it like this. Sheep was lost because it foolishly wandered away. The coin was lost, though no fault of its own owner, the woman, and the son left out of selfishness. God's great love reaches out and finds sinners no matter why or how they got lost. Today is a day where God's jumping in and saying, if you're lost, tap, 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 I'm here for you. Now you are found. Maybe some of you are going, I'm it. That's me. I've been lost. I don't have a relationship with Jesus. We're going to sing an old song here, like a hymn. So if you grew up in church, you're going to love this. I don't know. I've just been on a hymn kick lately, trying to be nostalgic and go back a little bit past 2020 and get into I've been going old school. And so we're going to have Haley come out with Lily. There's a lot of Kayleys and Haleys in my mind today, and I'm just making sure to get that right. We got Haley coming. She's going to sing an old school hymn. She was helping paint the other. I was like, hey, do you know this hymn? She started singing. She's like, it's really high. And I was like, could you play it? And would you sing it? And she's like, I'll play it. Can somebody else sing it? It's too high. I was like, just change it. She's like, I don't know. I read sheet music. And so I was like, okay, we'll find somebody else to sing it. And so we're doing an old school hymn, Trust and Obey. And I want you to hear the lyrics as you do business with God. Okay? I know that's weird wherever you are, but it's time for us to do business with God. As Haley she's going to swing around. You might see her a little bit. She's trying to be stealthy and get into but I want you to do business with Jesus. And maybe it's 2021. I'm not going to do life with a mask on anymore. I'm going to be the real me. I'm gonna be a censored me in the sense of I'm not going to be vulnerable at work, but I'm not going to put a mask on. When I'm having a rough day, I'm going to be like, hey, you know what? Things aren't going my way, but I still trust Jesus. I still am going to trust and obey. My resources aren't where I thought, but I'm going to trust and obey. It's like Kaylee, when she was showing, she's still trusting and obeying God. She's not sitting around going, okay, God, show up and rescue me. Okay, I'm going to get a job at Applebee's because I'm going to be a responsible young person. I'm going to work hard. I'm going to do these posts. I'm going to do all these different things. And she's just waiting on God to show up and show off, but she's not sitting around saying, God, drop money in a shoebox at my end of my bed. She's not doing that. She's working hard, becoming vulnerable, and she's trusting and obeying God. And so I want to sing this song. I'm not going to sing it, but we're going to sing it with them, hum it along, an old school hymn as you do business with God. Let's do that here.
When we walk with the Lord in the light to trust and obey. Then in fellowship sweet, we will wait at his feet and we'll walk by his side in the way he says he will do. Where he sends we will go. Never fear, only trust and obey. Trust and obey, for there's no other way to be happy in Jesus but to trust and obey.
I love the line there that there's no other way but to trust and obey. Thank you, ladies. As it's tough. If you ever try to learn a hymn and never heard it before, it's very difficult. It is always wordy. But the lines this week when I was painting with Haley, I was just like, man, just trust and obey. There's no other way. Pop off the mask, become vulnerable. Trust that God will show up and show off in your life. I can't tell you how he's going to do that, but becoming vulnerable with God and others allows God to step into our messes and rescue us from it. It's pulling off the mask of discomfort, faking the funk, and becoming the real you is the best way to do it. Let me pray. Jesus, I ask that people would move a direction. They'd move the needle to trust and obey. That we would go, okay, I'm going to become vulnerable. It's scary to be vulnerable. It's actually frowned upon in some places to be the real us, but that's what we're going to do in 2021. We're going to become vulnerable. We're going to run to you, and we're going to trust and obey. We're gonna do what you ask us to do. We're going to share with the right people what we're going through. And then we, as those that aren't going through something right now, may we hear the stories of other people and be moved to action, to do something, to help them, to take care of them, to see a need and meet a need, God. Because when we do that, we know that that's one way we are most like you, is when we see a need and meet a need. So give us eyes to see the need and meet the need. Jesus, we love you in your name. Amen. Thank you, everybody, for hanging with us. Joey and Lily, thank you for your help. Joey, are you ready to get that off?
Yeah, you know, I
think
it's
some
time.
of it can be peeled
Oh,
off.
the rest can't yet?
Well, when it's yeah,
It's
look at
cracking.
that.
Yeah.
Do you want to try to peel it off?
It's totally uncomfortable, isn't it?
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, look, yeah, give it a pull. He's like, yeah, get the mask off, bro. Yeah, it's Mission Impossible. That's what it looks like, just whispered in the back.
You should get a little closer.
Why? They can see it.
Look at that.
He's pulling it.
Oh my gosh.
Lily, you act like you've never seen that before.
Yeah, what?
I know I did it yesterday.
Yeah. Oh, it's pulling your skin.
No, it's not.
It is. Oh, you're losing your skin.
Oh, your eyebrows.
Yeah, your eyebrows now. Oh, no.
That's amazing.
Does that feel better, Joey?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, all right.
Okay,
That's the
good.
illustration of what you all need to do. All right, we're going to transition to giving. You've heard heaps of times us talk about giving around here. We don't just do this because it has to be done. We really believe everything that's said in the Bible. And so here is the place that you can give. You can text the word unlock to 77977. Here it is so that you guys can grab your smartphones. You can give. Those resources help us do what we do. But that's not why you're giving. Like, don't go, oh, yeah, I got to tip them for what they did today. They did such a great job. They were extra funny today. So, nope. It's obedience to what Jesus is asking us to do. It's back to that trust and obey. God talks about giving a portion of our resources, and that's an illustration of trusting and obeying. It's your chance to do that. And so we'll put that up one more time so you get to see what to do. It's the word unlock to 77977. You can also go to unlockchurch.com to give. And we thank you for everybody's generosity that is allowing us to be able to do what we do. We have a lot of cool upcoming events. First is you have Kids Service by Lily.
We do. We have Kids Service. And in
It
this
is good.
weekend's
It's
Kids
really good.
Service,
It's funny.
it may or may not have been planned that Joey, Kristen, and I do a live retelling, like live action retelling of the story with Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego where they get thrown into a blazing fire.
Wait, hold on.
Like
When you
we're
say
acting
this,
it out.
does this mean you're like getting into, like when you say that live action means
Joey,
you're getting into
we
a
got-
fire pit?
Kristen and I at one point
No, it's just yes or no.
jumped together into an imaginary fire pit. Yes. It was hilarious.
Keyword there just to
Kids.
make sure you all hear. Imaginary.
Kids, you do not want to miss this. And one
Okay.
of our very own is featured in this weekend's video doing a rap about Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. So watch it.
Okay, and then we have student service, which is when?
Wednesdays at 7 p.m. In our go-to meeting, we have fun. We got Legend in the background right now, like going like, let's go.
Epic
It's
is
super fun, so make sure you're there. And then we are live on YouTube, and we just have
On
a
this
blast.
channel. Yeah,
on
we
this
have so
channel.
much fun.
Yes.
We also have coming up, we made mentions before, we have new building we're going to be moving into at some point, so keep your eyes and ears very attentive? Is that the word I'm looking for? Pay attention to what's happening, because that will mean kids will be, it'll just be a lot of information dropping. We also have a chili cook-off happening. We do not have a date, but we're working on that with the hockey tournament happening, so stay tuned for that. It should be a lot of fun. We do have to have a winner this year in the chili cook-off, so it's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of cool things happening. Students have some events planned. They're going to do a retreat style thing coming soon on a Friday, Saturday. With a lot of cool things in store. Thank you for hanging with us, guys. We love every one of you. Have a great afternoon. This one is over.